Hello everyone. This is a detailed update on the syllabus changes for exams in 2025 and beyond as promised. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through all the updates covering both the new topics that have been added and the topics that have been removed. Remember that the new topics have an extremely high chance of appearing on your test this year. So it's crucial that you're comfortable with them and that you've practiced enough. Don't forget to practice the specimen papers as they specifically target and help you practice the new topics which have been added. Also, don't forget that I'm planning a practice exam this Wednesday. Again, focusing on these new additions. I would encourage and urge all of you to make yourself available for it. I think it is going to be an excellent source of practice before your finals. Okay, now let's dive into the details. Recurring decimals are now required, including more information about notation. Information about the notation. Okay, so this new subtopic revisits what we've covered in class regarding recurring decimal. These are the different ways in which we can express recurring decimal, whether it's a single dot, two dots, or a dashed line. All of these express recurring decimals in different ways. You should be familiar with the different notations used, and you should know exactly how to convert between recurring decimals and fractions. Okay. The syllabus extends expanding brackets to more than 2 brackets. So this is an example of more than 2 brackets expansion. We begin, as we've already discussed in class, we begin by expanding 2 brackets first. Then we simplify the answer that we get by collecting like terms. And then whatever expression we are left with, the simplified expression, we multiply that expression with the remaining bracket. Okay. Now, in addition to time, minutes, and hours, you need to know the relationship between days, week, months, and years. Though we all have a good grasp of these concepts, review the specifics to ensure that you don't miss out on any detail. Okay. Exponential growth and decay. This topic has been reinforced with plenty of in-class practice. We practice several questions from this topic, but if you still have any hesitations or need extra practice questions, or even an online class or a video on this topic, please comment below and I'll do my best to accommodate your preference. Okay. Surds, we now include surds has been included in the syllabus. I think this is one topic which has probably been practiced the most in class. It includes simplification of surds and rationalization of denominators. We had a question in our mocks where you had to give your answer to a quadratic equation or a quadratic question in surd form. So make sure you're solid on these techniques. Okay, surds, their simplification, rationalization, all of this is on your fingertips. Inequalities. For inequalities, while the core content remains the same, there hasn't been a major change, but you need to pay close attention to representations. Okay, strict inequalities, which basically are greater than or less than without this is equal to sign. They are represented by open or hollow circles on number lines and broken or dashed lines on the graphs. While inclusive inequalities, those which have an equal to sign with them, they are represented by closed or filled circles on the number line and solid lines on the graphs. Okay, this distinction is now explicitly stated in the syllabus. So be careful. You may be penalized if you don't follow it correctly. Okay. graphing functions. Okay, so as all of you know, you should be able to recognize, sketch, and interpret graphs of linear, quadratic, cubic, reciprocal, and exponential functions. With exponential functions linked to the exponential growth and decay topic, note that this is the detail. So a constant can now be added to the function, which shifts the entire graph up or down. Okay, so this is what was in the syllabus for students appearing in the exam before 2025. This is for 2025, and this column basically states the changes. So along with recognize and interpret, along with construct and draw, you should now be able to recognize and interpret the graphs of different functions. The power of the exponential function initially was restricted to this number set, but now it also includes exponents of 1 over 2 or negative 1 over 2. Okay. The rest of it is more or less the same. You need to estimate gradients of graphs by drawing tangents, and you need to also solve associated equations graphically, including finding and interpreting roots of graphical methods. Okay, before I move on, there's one thing that I missed out. The knowledge of turning points, vertical and horizontal asymptotes, roots, and symmetry is required. So all of this is important for turning points. I hope all of us are clear on how we can find turning points of quadratics by completing the square method, right? Vertical and horizontal asymptotes is also a new addition. So please keep all of these topics in mind. Okay, so domain and range. This is from the topic of functions. F of x, g of x, ये वाला topic है, ठीक है? So what is basically domain? Domain is the set of input values, or basically the values that x can take, right? And range is a set of output values, the values that y can take. Okay, probably the best page in the entire video, as it discusses the topics which have been removed from your syllabus. The construction of perpendicular bisectors and angled bisectors is no longer required for 2025. However, remember that we've learned to find the center of rotation using perpendicular bisectors, so please make sure you're comfortable with that method. Okay, you no longer required to prove congruency. You just need to know what the term means. That is it. So the focus on the concept rather than the proof. Okay, that is what you should do. Matrices is no longer included in the syllabus from 2025 onwards, which means it also has an impact on another topic, which is transformation. So initially we used to teach transformation using matrices, but since matrices have been removed, we're now going to use methods that have been taught in class for performing transformation. Also note that rotations are now restricted to multiples of 90 degrees, which is great because now we can just stick to the shortcuts that have been discussed already. Okay, angles and circles. The only addition in this topic is of the alternate segment theory. Otherwise, the reason that I have a screenshot of these reasons and explanations is because we had a question in the mock where you were required to find an angle and you had to give a reason for every step. Now you need to understand that you are required or expected to use the geometrical properties listed in the syllabus when giving reasons for your answers. Okay, you need to this has been stated explicitly that candidates are expected to use geometrical properties listed in the syllabus when giving reasons for answers. So please make sure that you use these reasons exactly as they are. Please memorize them. You must provide clear memorized reasons for every step rather than writing lengthy paragraphs. So even though the paragraphs might be correct, but they become very confusing. Okay, so I expect all of you to memorize all of these reasons and then apply them in the paper correctly. Okay, additionally, we now use a 3-letter notation for angles, which is like this: angle ABC. Okay, initially the examiner used to use the hat notation, which was like this: angle ABC. So we had a hat over the angle, but now they use the 3-letter notation. So angle ABC will be written like this. It also the new syllabus expands on 3 types of angles formed with parallel lines, which are what? Corresponding angles, alternate angles, and co-interior angles summed to 180 degrees. So these are also explanations or reasons that you need to memorize. These, and these. Okay. Okay, for the probability, new elements in the probability section include calculating expected frequency and assessing fairness and bias. So now you might be required not only to draw simple inferences, but also compare data sets. Okay, evaluating, for instance, whether a large or more representative sample yields a fairer result. Okay, composite and dual bar charts have also been added while frequency polygons have been removed completely. Okay, so these were some of the very few changes in statistics. The syllabus also now explicitly includes the calculation of perimeters of compound 2D shapes and surface area for compound solid shapes. Recall the mock exam questions on a prism with a sector as its cross section. You need to review that problem very carefully. Very few students got that correct. Frustum. Frustums again are now added explicitly. पहले भी इसके questions आते थे, but frustum का नाम use नहीं होता था. But now it has been added. We also encountered a question on this during the mocks, if you remember. Make sure you understand the calculations involved and you understand this solid shape. Okay, calculating angle between a line and a plane. Okay, for this topic, this topic basically requires you to visualize the problem as if it were, right in front of your eyes. Although the mock question on this was relatively simple, very few got it right. So I encourage you to practice this subtopic thoroughly. Okay. The topic of locus has also been removed completely. So any questions from this topic in the past paper can be skipped safely. Okay, I think this wraps up our complete overview of the syllabus changes. Remember, the new topics are likely to feature on your test this year, so it's vital, absolutely vital, to review and practice each area carefully. If you have any doubts or if there's a specific topic you'd like me to explore further, please leave a comment below. I'm here to help. Okay? Good luck with your studies, and I look forward to seeing you in our practice exam session on Wednesday. Okay, let's tackle these changes with confidence and ensure we are fully prepared for success. See you all. Allah Hafiz.